NESN HD Television Center, Tom, Karen, Jerry, Remy with you Saturday night, and families around New England gathered around the radio to listen to the baseball game.
Nice to see that TBS finally played their bills. You know, the accountants really going to catch up for this one, and hopefully tomorrow night they pay them again so we can see the whole game.
And by the way, a lot of you missed the end of the Steve Harvey show. We wanted to let you know the family learned a valuable lesson and everything was fine at the end of it all. So just wanted to get you caught up on that. You didn't miss much, a home run, but in the end, this was a grinded out affair. Red Sox throwing everybody out there, starting with Josh Beckett, who was outstanding. Hideki Okajima has once again become the most valuable bridge to Papelbon. Masterson was good, but we begin with Beckett because that's what you're going to look at tomorrow morning and say, my God, he was nowhere near his best, but he was able to grind out 5 innings.
Absolutely, Tom. This was not vintage Josh Beckett by any means, but he gutted it out, as they like to say. And, you know, you could tell out there tonight that he is not close to being 100%. But the one difference he did make tonight is his fastball location, even though it was not overpowering, was much better than it had been in the previous 2 games. It's the same velocity that he's had, a pretty good breaking ball in this game, as you see right there, to get a strikeout. Also threw a few changeups, but the key is he got his fastball in spots where he needed to get him. And you could tell, you know, they had guys warming up. They had Lopez warming up early, then Okajima early. They had that delay with the umpire, and he might have stiffened up a little bit, so they were very cautious with him. But 5 gutty innings from Beckett in this game.
When we were able to watch this game, there were a lot of shots of Beckett between innings, in the dugout, talking to John Farrell, talking to Terry Francona. They said at one point he actually went up in the clubhouse for a little bit. Clearly, and I know he has denied it from the get-go, but clearly there is something bothering this guy.
Absolutely, and it's probably worse than what we really know about it. You know, maybe not as bad as some reports are, but this guy is not 100%. It's very obvious with his velocity. But, you know, as we said in the pregame show, even at 92 miles an hour, if he can locate his fastball, they have a game plan against these hitters, and they know how to get him out. So he can still get him out, and he did tonight. He did make a couple of mistakes. He made a mistake against Upton. He also made a mistake against Bartlett. And as usual in this series, they don't miss mistakes, and they hit 2 home runs off him. But they were solo home runs. Beckett only giving up 4 hits.
I think we're going to see those mistakes. The 2 home runs, again, mislocation, and each time, as they have throughout this series, Tampa Bay taking advantage of a mistake.
Well, again, they want to go away from B.J. Upton, but you see the fastball just kind of tails back inside, and, of course, that's where he's been doing all his damage throughout the playoffs on inside fastballs, middle end, and in the 5th inning, just kind of a rolling curveball. See Veritek go away, but watch location of the breaking ball, just kind of spins up the home plate, and, of course, middle end, that's a great pitch for Bartlett to hit, even though he's not a power hitter, and that was the 2nd home run that he gave up, and the last run that the Rays would score of the night. So, you know, he made a couple of mistakes in the game. He paid for them, but they were only 1-run home runs.
Yeah, it's a lot of homers he's given up here this postseason, but if you can limit him to solo homers, even when he was a power pitcher, the homers could be an issue. You could see the home run 7 this postseason in 3 starts, but on a night like this, on a night you can give him 5 innings, you can keep those to solo homers, you give your team a chance to win.
You do, and what a job by the Red Sox bullpen. You know, I mean, Okajima, as you mentioned, Tom, coming in for 2 beautiful innings, only walked 1 guy. Masterson, tremendous use of his breaking ball and his innings worth of work, which we'll get to a little bit later. And Papelbon looked to me to be on total fumes to get the final 3 outs of this ballgame. And his fastball topped out, I think, at 91 miles an hour tonight. That's not anywhere near Papelbon.
And they're probably going to need him again tomorrow night if all goes well. Tough night for the Rays. Let's hear what Joe Madden says about it live.
Tonight, you know, Shields, he was not on top of his game, but it definitely gave us a chance to win. You know, we started out pretty well with BJ's homer, but we just could not string anything together. We had 4 hits, whatever it was, and they left 12 guys on base, so I was taking that as a good sign, but it just didn't want to come through for us. Overall, we pitched pretty well. We just did not get the offensive performance tonight that we had been getting.
Joe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, on Navarro's steal, was that supposed to be hit and run?
Yeah, that was just a bad pitch for JB to work with.
Who else? Mark?
Hey, Joe, not to avoid the 900-pound gorilla in the room, but, I mean, you guys were 7 outs away, up 7-0 lead, and now you're facing the defending World Series champs in Game 7 on the verge of possibly one of the biggest collapses in postseason history. How do you get this team ready, you know, tomorrow night and not think about Game 5?
That's some tremendous hyperbole right there. That happened a couple days ago. That has nothing to do with tomorrow. It's all about how we react to the moment. And, you know, it's the 7th game, and it's a great learning experience for us. To win that game would be something special for us also. So it's not about looking in the past. It's about looking into the future right now. We got to get ready to play that game tomorrow. We got Garza ready to pitch. We're going to go out and play our game, and that's basically how I'm going to look at it. It has nothing to do with what happened over the last couple of days.
Right on the center aisle here.
Joe, as an opposing manager, what does a guy like Jason Varitek do for the Red Sox? I mean, he breaks a slump with a home run. Then he seemed to have a good handle working with the bullpen tonight, especially.
Well, no, he's the heart and soul of that team. I've known that for years. Several years ago, I was fortunate enough to be part of the All-Star coaching staff, and I went up to him. I didn't even know him. I just told him how much I appreciated the kind of work that he did and how important I thought he was to the Red Sox. That was 2003, I believe. So, I mean, this guy's always been there. He wears it on his face. I mean, this guy's always ready to play. I know about his preparation habits. They're tremendous, and you'd never take him for granted. He comes to win every night.
In the back, Tony.
Yes, sir.
Joe, how did Beckett look to you relative to Game 2?
Well, pretty much the same. I thought more breaking balls tonight than he had the last time out. He relied on the curveball more, and I'm sure that he came out of the game as soon as he did based on the delay. That may have had something to do with it because he still was in pretty good shape. But I thought primarily velocity was the same as we saw last time, more breaking balls tonight.
Jason, over here.
Joe, just to make sure, Shields was fine after the comeback or in the sixth, right?
Yeah,
Had
absolutely,
nothing to
yes.
do with
Yeah, I
the
just
change.
had that preset, and JP got the ground ball. It just didn't work out.
Last one, Gary.
Joe, you just said something about playing your game. Do you feel you guys played your game tonight? Your defense was a little spottier than it has been most of the year. The bullpen didn't quite slam the door the way they have in some games. Are you a little off of the way you're playing now?
Honestly, I disagree with that. We had made one error, was on the chopper, and he threw it away. The bullpen didn't give up anything, I don't think. The ground ball that turned into an error, that was the one run on Poppy's ball. But other than that, I thought Chad did. I mean, Grant was not on top of his game time, but I thought Chad did a really nice job. And of course, Trevor had a one pitch out. So overall, we just didn't hit tonight, and that's primarily why we lost. We got good enough pitching tonight to win that game. They outpitched us, and now we have to come back tomorrow and play Game 7.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Well, it was Joe Madden talking about it, and here you see what the Red Sox have done all time in elimination games. 9 straight ALCS wins in elimination games. And, of course, 9-0, as you heard, under Terry Francona. Last time they lost an ALCS elimination game was the extra innings loss, Game 7, down at Yankee Stadium. We talked about it after Game 5. That was the kind of crushing loss that could really hurt a team. But they were going back to Tampa Bay, going back to Tropicana Field. That had to feel good. Now that you forced the Game 7, has to be an incredible amount of pressure on the Rays.
Yeah, I would think so, and especially you're going to face John Lester tomorrow night, who you expect to be better than he was in the first game. And Garza, I worry a little bit about if I was Tampa Bay because, we've mentioned before, he's a very excitable guy. He's a guy that, can get nervous and fidgety. And, and in Game 7, after losing 2 tough ball games like this, you got to wonder who's in favor of the matchup. And I got to believe it's going to be John Lester who would be favored in that matchup tomorrow night.
Sox 9-0 in elimination games under this man, Terry Francona. He's at the podium already.
And he has really been tremendous. You're right, he's given us a lot. In situations where we've need multiple innings, he's bridged that where we don't get that line moving in that bullpen and it kind of settles down and we have some semblance of order out there.
On the other side, Tony.
Terry, how much of a factor was the delay in terms of how you handled Beckett, and specifically as it pertained to the 4th inning, because I think you had Lopez up before he even went out to the mound that inning?
And the reason we did that was Josh didn't complain about anything or anything like that, but it was a long delay. And if he goes out and struggles, when we rush Javi, that doesn't do any good. So we wanted to give him a time to warm up, throw some pitches so he didn't get rushed into a game. But it was almost like a rain delay. And I know it was a shorter one, but it was kind of an oddity we just wanted to be prepared for.
Okay, Adam.
Especially given Jason's struggles of late here, how big was that home run he hit in the 6th?
I don't think I could, from our side, think of anything more appropriate. I mean, our whole dugout went crazy. We'll take runs any way we can get it, but by that means and by who hit it, it was not just a big run, it was a huge run. But the way it happened and as hard as he's worked, it meant a lot to everybody.
Is there a question on the aisle here? Do you have a question?
Getting back to Jason, was there anything he might have said to Josh while he was working through whatever injury he may or may not have tonight?
I'm sorry, could you maybe say that again?
Yeah, was there anything specific that he was telling Beckett during the game tonight?
I don't know, I was in the dugout, staying out of the way. They communicate a lot.
Yeah.
Just trying to work through every inning and navigate his way through a pretty dangerous lineup, and I thought Josh did a very good job. I mean, got to the fifth and left a breaking ball up to Bartlett that at the time ties it, but we come right back and put 2 on the board. I thought Josh pitched with a lot of courage tonight.
Facing this team 24 times this year, including the playoffs, you think that gives someone like Jason an advantage because of the work ethic he puts in, because of the way he studies opposing hitters?
I hope that I think we always feel like we have an advantage with tech behind the plate. I mean, that's one of the reasons I think, I mean, it's such a huge asset to our pitching staff. We always believe that, regardless of whether it's 24 or 2. He's been doing it for a long time, and he's very good.
John.
Terry, a performance like this, is that you think that finally puts to rest all the question about the health of your starting pitcher tonight and everything, the way he threw?
Well, I thought he threw with a lot of guts. I mean, it's not vintage Josh Beckett, but he also proved who he is. And, you know, again, he gave us what we needed. And I don't think it was real easy for him at times, but he pitched with a lot of composure and a lot of guts.
And he's waiting, so we're just going to take 2 more. Tony?
Terry, you rarely, if ever, have anybody up behind Papelbon when he enters a game. Del Carmen was throwing in the 9th. Is there any sort of physical issue there, or what was going on?
You know what? There's no reason not to. I mean, again, if something goes wrong, you know, you're picking out your Halloween costume, or, you know, just no reason not to.
Andrew?
Terry, it would seem obvious that experience has to be a factor in your favor tomorrow. Is there any way that it isn't a factor in a Game 7?
I hope it is. Again, you know, any way you can gain an advantage, you're going to try. They're going to try to do the same thing. It's going to come down to who plays better. It's probably pretty appropriate. We come down to the last game, and whoever plays better get to move on. We have a lot of respect for how good they've played, but we also really like our ball club. So, like I said, it's probably appropriate.
Thank you, Terry. Josh?
And it does indeed all come down to one game. Game 7. What more do you need to say? For the second straight year, Red Sox trying to rally from a 3-1 deficit, and they force the final game. John Lester against Matt Garza. Our pregame coverage begins at 6:30. Full post-game coverage as well tomorrow night as the American League Championship Series comes down to its final night. We've got plenty more coming up as we wrap up a Game 6 win. Right now, let's check in with Heidi Watney at the Trop.
The Red Sox stave off elimination and force a Game 7. I'll have all the reaction from the clubhouse, including Justin Masterson with another scoreless inning. Also, Jason Varitek, who hit the go-ahead home run. And we'll talk with Coco Chris, the leadoff guy, with a 3-for-4 night. That and more when we come back.
He's gonna do it.
He is not gonna do it.
He's gonna do it.
He is not gonna do it.
There he is. Watch.
He's not gonna do it.
He did it. Office supplies in there, snacks and coffee in there, cleaning stuff in there.
He did it. Who does that?
Who but W.B. Mason?
One source.
Wonderful.
My competition sells this electric fireplace for $720. That's just absurd. My hottie is only $399 in your choice of 4 finishes.
Ladies, we love our hotties, don't we? Safe for children and pets and cool to the touch. With or without heat. And they're remote controlled. Great ambience, and they look so real. No gas, no fumes, no cleaning. And you don't have to send your man up to the forest to go chop that lumber. Bob's Hotties, get them while they're hot.
Hey, man. How was your chicken sandwich?
I don't know.
Where'd you get that sandwich anyway?
I remember unwrapping, and then there was chewing, and after that, it goes blank.
If you can't remember your chicken sandwich, it's the wrong chicken sandwich.
You always take her side.
Wendy's new flavor dip chicken sandwiches. Tender center cut chicken breast dipped in barbecue or buffalo sauce. For flavor you can't forget.
It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's.
There's a storm coming. We're watching the zone very carefully. Snow, snow, snow. Gonna be a doozy. It's a nor'easter. Visibility is 0. Get ready to dig out. It's getting real slippery. 128 is a parking lot. Gonna be a tough commute.
For added traction, you can always depend on Sullivan Tire.
We're always here to get you there.
Well, the Red Sox head back into the clubhouse after their win tonight. They are now down 3-2 in this best-of-7 series. 4-2 the win tonight. The bullpen shut down the Rays tonight. And a key part of that bullpen spoke with Heidi Whitey. Here's Justin Masterson.
All right, Justin, you guys played your way into a Game 7. What was the biggest factor in the win today?
I think the biggest factor was Josh Beckett getting in there and giving us 5 innings. I mean, he just did a tremendous job. Yeah, everyone's been talking, and he stepped it up and said, hey, I'll do it for you guys. And then Okajima gave us 2 innings, and the offense gave us 4. And Pap closed it out like he always does, and the defense was spectacular, like they've been doing all year.
All right, an all-around game. Well, you got the go-ahead run from your captain, Jason Varitek. How good is it to see him get that production?
I mean, he deserves it. It's absolutely amazing. I know he's a huge, tremendous part of this team, and it's great to see him be able to put one over the fence because he crushed that ball. And so, hopefully he can carry that into tomorrow, and we can just take this all into tomorrow.
The bullpen once again flawless, 4 scoreless innings between Hideki Okajima, yourself, and Jonathan Papelbon. How key is that kind of a performance from the bullpen?
I think it's always good. It's Josh set a good tone, and it's always great for the bullpen to come in and carry that tone. And so we wanted to keep no one on base and take this into Game 7. And so we did exactly what we wanted. And the defense, they kept us right there.
All right, congratulations. Good luck in Game 7.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that's Justin Masterson talking about it as he came after Okajima and got the job done. This bullpen, which for 5 out of the 6 months in the regular season was a big concern, has been a strength now in the playoffs.
It certainly has, and Masterson tonight really impressed me with his slider. I thought he made excellent use of that. He got a little bit of trouble. He hit Bartlett. Bartlett got hit twice tonight, once not getting out of the way earlier in the game, and then later on hitting him to lead off the 8th inning. That becomes a little scary because that brings potential tying run at the plate, but that's very impressive right there against B.J. Upton, because Upton has been beating everybody on balls middle in all along. He goes away with the breaking ball to get the pop-up. Same thing with Pena. Comes inside. Remember last game he got Pena to roll over on a ground ball, a ball that he turned over. This time he changed his approach. He goes to the breaking ball, and he gets a little pop-up right there. So a very, very impressive outing, mixing in that slider tonight.
Meantime, Jonathan Papelbon comes in for the 9th inning, and we knew he threw it all out there the other night. Coming into the game early, staying in there for a while, I think 38 pitches, and I think it showed a little bit tonight.
91 on the fastball tonight, and that's not Jonathan Papelbon. He looked a little bit fatigued out there, but the results were good. He had a 1-2-3 inning. He used the splitter a couple of times. He got the ground ball out, of course, to lead off the inning. That's huge right there to get the first out. Then he comes back and he gets the strikeout to Kyle Crawford on a fastball that's inside, and then he gets the final out, a line drive, which is going to be right at Kevin Youkilis. Again, a fastball, but only at about 91 miles an hour. So, Youkilis, it's a good thing it was a short inning for him tonight, because I think he's fatigued. And, of course, without the day off and going into Game 7, they're obviously going to need him again. So he didn't have to throw a lot of pitches in this game, which is a plus for him.
And Hideki Okajima, don't want to overlook that. 2 innings the other night. Yeah. Daisuke only went 4. And those were very quiet innings, because at that point everyone thought the game was going to be over. And the Sox would never even be at this point. But they are. And he goes 2 more hitless, scoreless innings tonight.
Well, what Terry Francona has done in the last couple of games has really been smart with his bullpen. We saw Papelbon coming into the game the other night at when the thing looked like it was going to be out of hand, but they needed somebody to stop the bleeding, and he did. Now, you didn't know what the final result was going to be. Tonight, you get Okajima coming in to follow Josh Beckett, and really has an easy time of it. Only 1 walk in the 2 innings. Got some easy outs. There's the force play to end the inning. And, that's what you need. And they needed a couple of innings, because they've used Masterson so much and Papelbon so much in this series that they really needed Okajima to go a couple of strong innings, and he was able to do that. And the matchup certainly favored him to go in a couple of innings. So they got it lined up just the way they wanted it. 1 more out of Beckett would have been great, and that would have kept, probably just 1 for each of the relief pitches. But the fact is, They needed a 2 tonight for Okajima, and he was certainly up to the task.
See what he's done. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, just 1 hit. Hasn't given up a run in 4 big innings here over the last 2 games.
You could see him getting better and better toward the end of the season. You know, I mean, after a really tough time, I think all season long, you can see it start to come together mid-August into September, where he started to get that splitter back for him, and now it's paying dividends in the playoffs.
It's incredible how this has all worked out. That incredible comeback 2 games ago. Now they win it tonight with good pitching, and now you've got the ace of your 2008 season on the mound for Game 7.
I got a kick out of that clip when they were running back to the club. A little bounce in their step going up those steps, huh?
Yeah, I bet it was not like that on the other side.
No.
I don't think they were hopping up those steps. We're going to hear from Josh Beckett when we come back as he battled it through. As Jerry said, a gunny performance tonight for Josh Beckett, who goes 5, gets the win, and the Sox live to fight another day.
Yes, well, pay close attention. Office supplies are delivered to the front desk. That's Marilyn. Say hi, Marilyn. Hi. Next, cleaning and maintenance supplies go to our main supply closet where... Tom and Jen, don't you have a conference call? Snacks and coffee supplies go to the employee's kitchen. Just leave them on the counter there. Robert, who is hiding behind the refrigerator, he will unload them. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Who but W.B. Mason?
One source.
Wonderful. Brian, stop playing with the lights.
Do you wake up when your partner moves in bed? Chances are it's the motion of the mattress that woke you up. To get a better night's sleep, you need to isolate the movement, so when your partner moves, you don't feel the motion. We have taken the cover off a Simmons Beauty Rest Black to show you how individual pocketed coils isolate movement and eliminate partner disturbance. Here's to a good night's sleep.
Introducing an entirely new, altogether inspired resort destination. The new 825-room MGM Grand at Foxwoods. Go Grand.
Hi, I'm Teddy Bruschi. Important decisions are made in the huddle every Sunday. But when Heidi and I huddled to discuss our team at home, we made the most important decision of all. We called SBLI.
SBLI has been protecting families for over 100 years with affordable life insurance.
Trust me, you never know when life will hit you hardest. If something happened, could your family make it without you? With SBLI, they would. Hey guys, bring it in, dinner's ready.
Josh Beckett on the mound for the Red Sox tonight. Game 6 of the American League Championship Series. Could the Red Sox carry the momentum from that wild comeback win in Game 5? Beckett in early trouble. Not many of you saw this. Want to show it to you. B.J. Upton blasting a 7th home run of his postseason. Actually hit off the catwalk, but that would have been well gone.
Yeah, the bloopers were on at that time.
Yeah, at that point, Dick Clark was looking pretty good. Now to the second. Nobody on, nobody out. James Shields gets in his own trouble. Kevin Youkilis right there to tie it up.
Well, Youkilis, of course, has been doing it all along. The big home run right there, answering B.J. Upton's home run and getting the Red Sox right back tied in this ballgame.
And so, if you thought that would give the Rays a chance to feel a little confidence, Youkilis takes it away, and they're battling now. Beckett, some defensive help. Mark Kotsay with a nice play there. And they're able to beat out Cliff Floyd, and that'll keep it 2-1 Red Sox at that point. Now to the 5th. After getting 10 of 13 batters between the 2nd and 5th innings, Beckett is taken deep by Jason Bartlett there. Now, earlier, a hit and run had failed, so the base runner was taken off the base paths. A solo shot ties the game at 2. But to the 6th, Jason Varitek, his first hit of the series, it's a big one.
Well, the key there is, you know, they got the ball down to Varitek. They normally pitch him, as we've seen all series long, with fastballs from the belt above. But that ball was about knee-high, and that's a pitch that Varitek can handle, and he crushed that ball to right field. But I think a mislocation there. They wanted the ball up, stayed down, and Varitek made him pay.
Red Sox retaking a 1-run lead. Big game James feeling the heat. 2 on, 2 outs, 3 batters later. David Ortiz with a base hit. His 3rd hit of the series. Another RBI here. Red Sox a little bit of breathing room now. 4-2 Shields. 9 hits. 3 of the 4 runs he gave up were earned. He struck out 3 in 5 and 2/3 innings. And the bullpen nailed it down from there. Just 4 hits tonight for Tampa, all off Beckett. So 4 scoreless innings of relief including Papelbon, who remains unscored upon in his career as a postseason pitcher in Major League Baseball. 25 innings now, over 16 appearances, without giving up a run. Red Sox win it 4-2. They force a Game 7, as this series now is all tied up at 3 wins apiece. Jason Varitek with his first hit of the series. Couldn't come at a better time. It ends up being the game-winning RBI. His pitcher, Josh Beckett, was happy to see it.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome. You know, he wears a C on that jersey for you know, a lot of different reasons, but none more important than how much respect everybody in that clubhouse, including players, coaches, upper management, has for him. You know, we're always pulling for the guy, but you know, it was huge for him to do that.
Jason?
Josh, how does a delay like that affect you after the first couple innings, and when there's a change of umpires? Is there an adjustment period on your part to getting used to what was a little bit of a different strike zone, most likely?
The delay didn't really bug me that much. I mean, I had just coming out. You know, I think James Shields probably had the worst end of that deal. And as far as the strike zone goes, I think both of those guys are pretty consistent with you know what a strike zone is. So.
Jerry?
Josh, the Clifford Floyd at bat in the fourth.
Clifford? That's funny.
Some of his friends call him that. The at bat, you got your top radar gun speed of the last pitch to him of the game, 94. Were you consciously humping up because the tying rose in second base there, or was that just a coincidence?
No, it was actually a sinker that I threw to him. So, I mean, I don't think I was necessarily trying to throw the ball hard.
Clifford Floyd, they're very formal down at Tampa Bay.
You know, watching these press conferences, aren't you glad you're not a manager and some of these ridiculous questions that they get?
I pay money to see you manage a team 1 week just to watch you handle those press conferences.
How about the guy with Madden and saying to him, you know, this is going to be the biggest collapse ever in baseball? I mean, you want to get out of your chair and go knock him out.
Not to get ahead of things, but if you lose tomorrow night, it'll be the worst collapse in the history of Major League Baseball. Meantime, redemption for the captain. Now, you know, we know it was at 220 in the regular season, even worse in the postseason. No hits in this series at all, but they'll remember that home run for a long time because it came at the most important time of this series.
Well, it's clear the affection that, you know, his teammates have for him. There's no question about that, and in particular the pitching staff, because how hard he works with them. But, you know, everybody wants to be part of the offense, and Varitek, to this point of the playoffs, has not been a part of it. And you can see how they want the ball away from him, but it stays out over the plate and it's down. The thing that surprises me is that they pitched him down, because most of the time, both on the right side and the left side, if you're going to throw him fastballs, the way you get Jason Varitek out are pitches above the belt. That time they elected to stay down in the zone, and Varitek, you know, ran into him, which is a good thing for him because, you know, as I said, Tom, you know, as much as you control the pitching staff and the enjoyment that comes with that when they have success, the preparation you put into a game, the fact is you also want to participate offensively, and he has not done so for most of the season. So to be able to get a home run here in the playoffs, you know, is going to be a great feeling for him.
At this point, you know, much like we talked about Ortiz the other night, he's 1 for 16. I mean, this does not get rid of the slump, but the one is huge.
Well, and tonight Ortiz had a huge hit after that error that was made by Bartlett.
In that error, you wonder for the first time if maybe they had just given up the lead again. It's 3-2 Red Sox now, and you get that error. It's the first time maybe a little bit of nerves here.
Well, they've made a couple of critical errors in the last 2 games. Longoria last game, and of course this game here, Bartlett, as he just lets one fly. As soon as he left his hand, he knew that ball was going to be wide of the bag. And then the Ortiz at bat after that was just absolutely phenomenal because it was against J.P. Howell, a left-hander, a breaking ball he went down to get and dropped it into center field for the base hit. But here's the Ortiz at bat. Now that's a pretty good pitch, but Ortiz covers the plate. So David, you know, after the big home run the other night, followed up tonight with a 2-hit performance and also driving in that run, which was a big run in the ball game. So, you know, the pressure may be getting to him a little bit. As you said, you know, the fact that Longoria had a fairly easy play the other night at third base, threw the ball away, gave the Red Red Sox a chance. You had another routine ground ball here, very, very routine play to make for a shortstop because it was, you know, a nice high hop. But as soon as it left his hands, he knew it was going to be nowhere close to first base.
And that insurance run ends up being huge because then the bullpen comes out, a little bit of breathing room with a 2-run lead. Absolutely. Now they go to Game 7. We'll be previewing in just a couple of minutes here as the Red Sox going to hand the ball to John Lester. Sox after another American League Championship. NESN.com Soxtober page is where you can find our experts bringing their insights online for the postseason. Before every game, check out Leading Off for lineups, news, and notes from the ballpark. Jerry's 3 keys to the game, both NESN.com exclusives. Plus, don't miss Heidi Waddy's blog From the Sidelines, and I'll be blogging from the clubhouse. Just visit NESN.com and look for the Soxtober logo. Soxtober on NESN, presented by Jordan's Furniture. Coco Crisp stays hot at the top of the order. 3 more hits tonight, 5 in the last 2 games. We will hear from the sudden Red Sox leadoff hitter in just a bit.
There are 6 good reasons to buy my brand new rugs. First,
there's nothing like handmade quality.
Second,
recognize this label? They're 100% durable wool.
Third,
so plush you can really sink your tootsies in.
Fourth,
beautifully sculpted for added dimension and depth.
Fifth,
your choice of 7 different styles.
Sixth, and most certainly not least, they're only $1.99 each.
Only $1.99 each.
The competition?
Busted!
For some folks, work is an uphill battle. Not for Mahindra owners. Fact is, in an independent survey, 97% said they are satisfied with their Mahindra tractor. On a Mahindra, nothing gets between you and your land. Stop by sometime at MahindraUSA.com. Mahindra Tractors. Cultivate your dreams.
Discover the Mahindra experience at Neutron Equipment Company. Visit our convenient location in Lyman, Maine.
Trip Equipment presents Trip Quips with Sam Hirsch.
Today's Trip Quip is all about identification. You know, in today's day of high security, the one thing you want to do before you get to the airport is make sure your ID is up to date, especially your passport. So come on into Trip Equipment, we can do your photo for you, we have all the passport forms, and we'll get you on your way. I'm telling you, this is me. So before you head out on your next trip, whether it's around the corner or around the world, Trip Equipment.
Enjoy your flight.
Thanks.
Well, prior to Game 5, the Red Sox hadn't gotten a single hit from the leadoff spot. The last 2 at-bats of that Game 5 were base hits for Coco Crisp, including one that drove in the game-tying run, and that 7-run comeback, ultimately an 8-7 win. Then tonight, 3 more hits. And he walked as well, getting on base 4 times tonight. Coco Crisp, last year ultimately taken out of the lineup at the end of the ALCS in the World Series, has now become one of the hottest hitters in the lineup. Let's hear what he had to say after the game.
Becky did a great job. I mean, they got to him early with the home run, but you know, he settled in and didn't give up a 1 more round. He did a great job.
Biggest time of the year, you're playing your best baseball.
Yeah, we're doing a great job, team-wise. You know, battling. We're playing against, I guess, the best team in baseball. You know, I believe, and you know, we're right there under them. So. You know, we're just, I mean, these are like World Series games. I believe, honestly, we should have met in the World Series. But not taking nothing away from Philly. You know, I never really got to see them play much. But the way we're playing right now against each other, it's exciting to watch.
And personally, you're seeing the ball very well?
Yeah.
Coco, can you talk about Euclid and Belichick's big home runs?
Well, you know, they strike first, and we're able to strike back. Fairly quickly right after that, and that's huge, you know, not allowing them to hold on to the lead too long, and Veritek doing the same thing, and we're able to keep it right around there and continue to score in that area of the game, and you know, kind of just stay there throughout the rest.
Coco, shake your head, Coco, where you were two days ago to where you are coming up tomorrow night.
Down the games. You know, it's amazing. I mean, we're playing great ball, both teams. You know, it's amazing to come back on a team like that a couple games ago and to come into their house with a crowd as electric of a crowd as there is in baseball and win a game. It feels nice.
Can you talk about John Lester tomorrow, Coco?
Well, we got 2 good starters going against each other. We have Lester, who's been our best pitcher for us this year, and Garza, who's arguably their best pitcher as well. So it's going to be another tough game. Hopefully our pitcher just does a little bit better than theirs.
How do you best?
It's a simple game when you lay it out that way. But, it's great to see. We talked about redemption for Veritek in this series. You got to call this a little bit of redemption for Coco Crisp, who last year, Ellsbury took the job at the end of the ALCS and in the World Series. This year, Coco is taking it back.
Yeah, absolutely. On base 4 times tonight. Of course, that bunt coming when the Steve Harvey show was on, and then got picked off after that, but added 2 more hits after that and a walk. So Coco again doing the job at the top of the lineup, and it is very strange how this game goes, Tom. Just a year ago, Jacoby Ellsbury was doing what Coco's doing right now. Jacoby Ellsbury on the bench right now because he hadn't been performing, and Coco has stepped it up, and he's hitting in a spot where really Terry Francona did not want him to hit all season long in the leadoff spot. But you can't take him out of there now. He'll be in there again tomorrow night without doubt against Garza.
I just want to say I enjoyed that bunt. You and I gathered around the radio. It was a nice time here at NESN. It was old-time baseball.
It really was. You felt like you were on the porch, and you hear the bugs. And
I thought you were going to be out here recreating it with the bat and the ball. And then he hit the home run.
Ronald Reagan did that stuff.
Yeah, well, he's not with us anymore. After tonight's show and every Red Sox postgame show, go beyond the numbers with the Amica Stat Pack. It's a complete rundown of all the stats that matter for your favorite team. Go to NESN.com and check out the Amica Stat Pack. Amica, it's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. We'll hear from Kevin Youkilis. Had a couple of RBI tonight. The big home run early on. That one you saw on TV after Upton's home run, which you didn't see on TV.
Maybe your own price, huh?
Yeah, they want $200 for a 4-star on the Vegas Strip. I'm going $190.
Oh, you wuss.
What?
Go lower.
$160?
Namby-pamby.
$99.
Now you're negotiating.
At Priceline, find half-price hotels every day. Save up to half off Expedia's best price and Hotels.com's best price on over 16,000 hotels. Find half-price hotels every day at Priceline.
Check it out, gas prices blowing up sky high. Ditch my used subcompact for a 2-wheeled ride. Now I'm rolling eco-friendly, but I still look bad. When the bike store saw my credit, they said this was all they had. I'm singing F to the R to the E to the E to the C to the R to the E D I T. Free to the port to the dot to the com. Come on everybody, grab your bike and sing along. It's easy. F to the R. Offer applies with enrollment and Triple Advantage.
Bob bought this Kincaid dresser and mirror from a competitor who claims to have the lowest prices for $13.94.
Utterly ridiculous. Bob's complete 8-piece solid mahogany bedroom is only $12.99.
That's less than their dresser and mirror alone.
And theirs is not solid mahogany. It's a combination of cherry and mystery hardwood.
A dresser and mirror for $13.94?
Or Bob's entire solid mahogany bedroom, the whole darn thing for just $12.99.
There's a storm coming. We're watching the zone very carefully. Snow, snow, snow. Gonna be a doozy. It's a nor'easter. Visibility is 0. Get ready to dig out. It's getting real slippery. 128 is a parking lot. Gonna be a tough commute.
For added traction, you can always depend on Sullivan Tire.
We're always here to get you there.
Coming up next, Granite City Electric's Extra Innings Extra. We'll hear from Kevin Youkilis as the series is now tied, and Evan Longoria talks about the Rays' struggles. It all comes down to one game. We'll have a preview of it when we come back.
I'm Jean Shaheen. I approve this message.
You know he's George Bush's man, but did you know that John Sununu is also Wall Street's $1 million man? Sununu's taken $1 million from Wall Street, 4 times more than any other senator in New Hampshire history. What did Wall Street get from Sununu? Full-throated support for deregulation of banks and just about everything else. That's what's wrecked our economy and our life savings. John Sununu, he's failed New Hampshire.
UConn men's basketball. Jeff Adrian, Craig Austrie, A.J. Price, Hashim Thabit. One team, one goal. This is basketball. This is Yukon country.
Season tickets now on sale for Gamble Pavilion and XL Center. Visit YukonHuskies.com.
Do you wake up when your partner moves in bed? Chances are it's the motion of the mattress that woke you up. To get a better night's sleep, you need to isolate the movement, so when your partner moves, you don't feel the motion. We have taken the cover off a Simmons Beauty Rest Black to show you how individual pocketed coils isolate movement and eliminate partner disturbance. Here's to a good night's sleep.
You're watching NESN, home of the Boston Bruins and the Boston Red Sox.
Welcome back to our NESN HD Television Center. Tom Karen with you here for Granite City Electric's Extra Innings Extra. The Red Sox take care of business tonight in Game 6. Didn't need to come back from a 7-0 deficit. In fact, as they took this lead, they added on. The insurance run ultimately giving the Red Sox a 4-2 win tonight. Our WB Mason delivery of the game, the run that started it all, because the Rays had jumped out to an early 1-0 lead. But then just after the Steve Harvey show came to an end, Kevin Youkilis tied it up with this home run, one of his 2 RBI on the night. That's our delivery of the game. Let's hear from Kevin Youkilis.
It was a great one for us. The only way we're going to be able to play more baseball, and now we force it to Game 7, and anything happens in Game 7, and tomorrow goes on the World Series, and that's it's an exciting feeling just to know that.
Can you talk about your day at the plate, a home run, 2 RBIs?
Yeah, I mean, just the first at bat, I just got a fastball that I was a little up and got a good piece on it, and just glad I got out. Had a little trouble here sometimes hitting home runs, but it was then my next at bat, I was just trying to with one out, I was not trying to line out or trying to hit something. I was just trying to hit a ball up the middle. Got a little fastball that I could hit a ground ball up the middle, and got the run home.
What about Josh Beckett's performance in that, and then the bullpen really picked him up?
Oh yeah, Josh threw great. He made 2 mistakes, whatever, and that was about it. And he threw the ball real well, kept us in there, and Okajima came in and did an unbelievable job, and Justin and Pap did a great job too of closing it out, and we get to go home and live for another day.
You, from where you were 2 games ago, how exciting is it for you guys to be in a Game 7 here?
Oh, I mean, we're ecstatic. I mean, we've been on, we've been having so much fun just the past couple of days. When you're winning, it's a little easier, to deal with. When you lose a couple games in a row, it's tough. But now we're at a point where we're facing, Game 7, and we win this game and go in the World Series. So we're pretty excited for that. But our hopes are high. But we know we still have a tough game tomorrow against this team.
How do you feel about getting?
Well, you can see what the middle of the order got done tonight. Ortiz, Youkilis, and Drew combining for 5 for 13 on the night. A big home run, of course, 2 RBI in the middle from Kevin Youkilis. He has hit safely in 8 of these 9 postseason games, and maybe quietly as a cleanup hitter, because Ortiz and Drew get all the hype the other night. It'll be Veritek tonight for the go-ahead home run, but Youkilis has quietly been there every night.
Yeah, and the other side of that, too, Tom, is the defense. Youkilis moving over, playing third base, and playing very well. And how about the job Kotze is doing at first base? I think it's surprising a lot of people. This guy did not have a lot of experience at first base under his belt. He's thrown into a playoff situation, becomes the first baseman, and he's made some real nice defensive plays. But, you're right, the middle of the lineup now, Ortiz with a couple of hits tonight. Of course, had the big hit the other night. We look at Kotze here making a nice defensive play, getting the ball to Josh Beckett. They're starting to hit. Ortiz looks a little bit better at the plate. Youkilis has been hitting the whole series. J.D. Drew, of course, the outstanding night back at Fenway, and continues on tonight with a couple of more hits. So that's a good sign. But again, we're down to 1 game. one game to go to the World Series, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, we have seen it before. We did not think we would see it when they were down 7-0 in the 7th inning on Thursday night. But here we go with the ace on the mound, John Lester. Wasn't his ace like last time around. Can he regain his form and pitch the Red Sox back into the World Series? A preview coming up.
At Granite City Electric, we're crazy about sports. We love baseball, football, hockey, and love to see kids learning about life from a sports game. That's why we sponsor youth athletic teams and why our Field of Dreams program brings night lighting to ball fields like these in Whitman.
If we want to make this a better world, we better start spending more time with our kids.
Granite City Electric. We love kids, we love baseball, we love our customers.
Hey, man. How was your chicken sandwich? I don't know.
Where'd you get that sandwich anyway?
I remember unwrapping, and then there was chewing, and after that, it goes blank.
If you can't remember your chicken sandwich, it's the wrong chicken sandwich.
You always take her side.
Wendy's new flavor dip chicken sandwiches. Tender center cut chicken breast dipped in barbecue or buffalo sauce. For flavor you can't forget.
It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's.
Do you wake up when your partner moves in bed? Chances are it's the motion of the mattress that woke you up. To get a better night's sleep, you need to isolate the movement, so when your partner moves, you don't feel the motion. We have taken the cover off a Simmons Beauty Rest Black to show you how individual pocketed coils isolate movement and eliminate partner disturbance. Here's to a good night's sleep.
Same thing we have, we're going to continue to try and stay focused, and our bench has been phenomenal, and I look forward for the same thing tomorrow.
John Lester tomorrow night.
Just look to, same as other pitchers, look to get a quality start out of Johnny, and he's a good guy to have the ball right now.
Heavy.
Jason Varitek talking about tomorrow night, and we will be here to talk about it before the game. Game 7 for the second straight year. The Red Sox played a Game 7 in the American League Championship Series, getting there after battling back from a 3-1 deficit. Don't forget to look for live coverage of the Sox and Rays press conferences leading up to Game 7. And stay tuned to Soxtober on the NESN.com page to get everything you need to know about what's happening. Preview of this game. Now we go back to the Trop Chicken with Heidi Watney.
John Lester will make his first ever postseason start facing elimination here in Game 7 tomorrow night at Tropicana Field. Now Lester is coming off the worst outing of his postseason career, giving up 5 runs in the Game 3 loss to Tampa Bay. But he says the Rays' aggressive approach will not change his plan of attack in Game 7.
Yeah, I noticed a little bit. They were aggressive early on, especially to the fastball. I don't know if they approached me any different. I think that's just their approach is to go out and get the fastball early. That's kind of what we've seen all year from them and in the past. I don't think I have to change my game plan. I think I pitched pretty well with the exception of a couple pitches. And, unfortunately those pitches hurt me pretty bad. But, hopefully I can go out and execute pitches again and stay away from the big innings like I talked about before and keep them off balance.
Lester will face Matt Garza in the decisive Game 7. Now Garza held the Red Sox to just 1 run over 6 innings in the Rays' 9-1 win Monday night. TC?
All right, Heidi, thanks very much. There it is, Lester against Garza. The rematch of Game 3 when Lester gave up the 5 runs, 4 of them earned. Despite that, Lester still with a 1.83 earned run average in the postseason. Garza, meantime, staked to an early lead, was able to pitch effectively through 6 innings of work. Lester gets another chance, and you got to like your chances with Lester on the mound.
Well, last time out, Tom, he did something that he hasn't done for a long, long time, and that's elevate a couple of pitches. And as he mentioned, this is a very good fastball hitting team, and when he left the ball up in the zone, that's when he got hurt. He settled down a little bit after that, but it was not a typical John Lester performance. And I would think that the Red Sox going back to their hotel tonight would have to feel very good about their start of tomorrow's game. He's been the best pitcher in baseball probably for the last 2 months of the season. And he had that one blip last time out for a couple of innings where he left a couple of pitches up. He's aware of that. The Red Sox are aware of that. And I'd say, you know, both teams going back, and it means nothing really when the game starts tomorrow, but, you know, they have to be dejected the way things have turned out for the Rays. They're confident in Garza. The Red Sox very confident in Lester.
And Garza, as we know, an emotional guy. If the Red Sox, again, we say this every night, but if the Red Sox can get on the board early, it could be problematic for Garza.
Well, you talk about pressure building up in the series, you know, and it built up more tonight with the Red Sox win, obviously. Now they have to play another game, and now Garza's going to be the guy that they're leaning on tomorrow to pitch another great game. Is he capable of that? Sure he is. He's got terrific stuff. But he is an excitable guy, and if things don't go well for him early, he could unravel. On the other hand, John Lester pretty much always keeps his emotions under check. I mean, he gets upset with umpires at times. You know, we'll take that long look in, but his whole demeanor is, you know, more of a calm demeanor than what Garza is, and so that can play a factor in a high-pressure ball game.
All right, it's Game 7 tomorrow night. We will be here starting at 6:30 with our pregame coverage. Don't forget on Monday, after the 4-game road trip now behind them, 2-1-1 their record as the Bruins come home for their home opener, TD Bank North Garden, the place where they will face Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Gord Kluzak and Catherine Tappan get it started with WB Mason Bruins face-off live at 6:30. We'll come back here from Dustin Pedroia as Jason Varitek and the Red Sox live to battle another day. Game 7 at the Trop after a 4-2 win tonight in Game 6.
Play ball. We're in love. We admit it. In love with the excitement, the innocence, and the fun of youth baseball. Where tomorrow's major leaguers learn to hit, run, and catch. Well, usually. These are the kids to watch. Maybe someday they'll be pampered sports stars. But today, they only want to win and to be the best. And you know what? They are the best. Granite City Electric. We love kids, we love baseball, we love our customers.
Do you wake up when your partner moves in bed? Chances are it's the motion of the mattress that woke you up. To get a better night's sleep, you need to isolate the movement, so when your partner moves, you don't feel the motion. We have taken the cover off a Simmons Beauty Rest Black to show you how individual pocketed coils isolate movement and eliminate partner disturbance. Here's to a good night's sleep.
When you're a rock star, you get to party hard. Champagne and caviar, tricked out exotic cars. It's just how I thought it'd be, except the party's not for me, 'cause some punk opened a credit card with my ID. Free what? Free credit. Report.com. That's the site I'm gonna hit when I go home. They know how credit works. They send email alerts. Now I'm finding out how bad reality hurts.
Offer applies with enrollment in Triple Advantage.
You know, I just got behind the count too well, and you know, he's not the type of hitter that's going to hit home runs off you, and you know, so I had to stay aggressive. So you know, I gave him a 2-0 fastball down and away, and he hit it out.
The obvious question would be the delay seemed to affect everybody. Did it affect you for the 15 minutes when they had to make the umpire switch?
I don't think it did, because I came out and you know, got the job done, you know, right after that. So I don't think it affected us at all.
And finally, for this team.
Heroes remain in Game 7, man. That's you know, you see it on ESPN Classic all the time. Guys hitting big home runs and making big plays in Game 7s of World Series and Championship Series. So I'm sure there'll be a hero tomorrow, and I think, you know, we hope it's on our team.
Is there one you particularly remember?
I guess the home run that Joe Carter hit sticks out in my mind in the World Series. That was Game 7, huh?
It's Game 6.
Was it Game 6? Well, whatever. then no. But, you know, there have been heroes made in these kind of games, and I think somebody's going to step up and, you know, take that and run with it.
You know, we get to play tomorrow. Tomorrow, you know, one of us is going on, one of us is going home.
You see a little smile. Game 7's fun for the guys in here?
Absolutely. I mean, compared to where we were a couple nights ago, you know, it's taken a lot to get to this point. So hopefully we can come out tomorrow and play good baseball.
Do you shake your head at what's going on?
We really don't have time to. You know, you're battling every single pitch, and you know, mentally it's obviously draining. And you know, once you hit the pillow at night, you go straight to sleep. So you know, hopefully we can come out tomorrow, it's fun just being here. It's exciting to play. A couple nights ago we didn't down 7-0. We really didn't think this would come, but we're here.
In this type of situation, you really feel good about the guys next to you.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody. We're a family. We play together. We're here together for 6-7 months, and we believe in each other.
Well, so much was made this season about the home and road splits, and here the Red Sox are 4-1 on the road this postseason. They only won once in 9 tries down at Tropicana Field. They've already got 2 wins there in the playoffs.
Well, this is the second season. This is the playoffs. Everything's different in the playoffs, and the emotions, the emotional roller coaster that both teams are on. And the Red Sox, they know darn well as they head back to that hotel tonight how lucky they are to still be in this thing and have a chance for in Game 7 tomorrow. So, we're going to be here at 6:30. We're going to do a little pregame show, and after that, you can check out Dick Clark and the bloopers, and hopefully at some point get to the game.
Joe Castiglione never sounded better tonight. It was good to hear him. Red Sox win tonight. Game 7 coming up tomorrow. Sports Desk coming up next. Here's a preview from Catherine Tappan.
TC, thank you. Coming up tonight on the show, we'll have highlights as the Bruins beat the Ottawa Senators and they return to Boston for their home opener with a winning record. Plus, Matt Ryan pays a visit to the Heights for the BC Virginia Tech game. You'll hear from the Falcons QB on Sports Desk, presented by FW Webb, home of Frank Webb's Bath Centers, a trusted part of your home remodeling team. I will see you then. More post-game coverage right after this.
Monday night, the Bruins are back on the Garden Ice. And 1 year later, Bergeron joins the black and gold in their anticipated return as they battle out their home opener against the Pittsburgh Penguins. While Crosby and Malkin are sure to give the Bees a fight. When the puck gets between the pipes, it's game on. Monday night is New England Hockey Night with Bruins Penguins coverage beginning at 6:30 on NESN.
Trip Equipment presents Trip Quips with Sam Hirsch.
Today's Trip Quip, getting through security. At Trip Equipment, we have everything to make your next trip through that line as easy as your trip itself. We have all the airport security items you could possibly need. Locks for your bags, liquid gel kits, we even have boarding pass ID holders. So come on into Trip Equipment and see all the things we have, and we'll help make your next trip hassle-free. So before you head out on your next trip, whether it's around the corner or around the world, Trip Equipment.
Enjoy your flight.
Thanks.
At Yankee and Brunswick Ford sales, if you've waited till now is the time.
We've just made a special purchase of 2007 Ford Focuses starting at $99.99 or $149 a month. Or fully loaded 2007 Ford Explorer XLTs starting at $13,999 or $209 a month.
Bring us any dealer's flyer ad and we'll beat the price and pay you more for your used car. That's Yankee Ford, Brunswick Ford, your Coastal Motor Group.
Have to go out and execute my game plan. If I don't do that, then obviously, we're not going to have the outcome we want. So if I go out there and execute my pitches and keep a focused head and keep calm and go out there and do what I need to do, then everything should work out just fine.
The way you pitched the last time you were out, are you hungry to get the ball again?
Obviously. I mean, anytime you don't pitch up to par, you want to get back up on the mound and prove yourself and to other people that you can pitch. And, tomorrow hopefully I can go out and pitch like I've pitched all year and keep going, and hopefully we can keep going forward.
John, after watching Josh, how excited is it? How excited are you to get the ball tomorrow?
I'm pretty excited, but like I said, I can't let my emotions or anything of that magnitude get in the way. I have to worry about executing pitches, and if I let my emotions get too high, then that gets in the way of me executing, and I'll have the same outcome as I did last time. So as long as I go out there and stay calm, stay focused, and be committed to every pitch, then everything should be fine.
That's John Lester after the game talking about his start tomorrow. You can hear more reaction to this win on NESN.com. Josh Beckett, Dustin Pedroia, Justin Masterson, all there talking about a Game 6 win. Final score for the final time. Red Sox take it 4-2. Game 7 coming up Sunday night. We'll see you with our pregame coverage starting at 6:30.
He swings, long drive, left field. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run! The Red Sox win!
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag! It gets through Buckner! Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it!
In the air to center, well hit. Back is Sizemore. Grand slam through.
Swing and a drive hammered right field. Pretty well hit. That ball is gone. A home run for Veritek.
Game 6 always seems to produce a memorable moment in Red Sox lore, and in 2008 it was the captain coming through in the clutch, sending the Sox and the Rays to Game 7. It's crunch time, and it starts right now on Sports Desk.
Ashley met me after work. We did some yoga, went to Jazzercise, stopped off at the Oxygen bar. I paid $8.50 for a glass of air.
Sox fans are scrambling for oxygen when they were frantically looking for the game, suffering through TBS technical difficulties. Sorry about that one. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Sports Desk, presented by FW Webb, home of Frank Webb's Bath Centers, a trusted part of your home remodeling team. I'm Catherine Tappan. We have a lot coming up, including the Bees putting an end to their season-opening road trip, and the Eagles and Hokies clash at the Heights. But we start, of course, with the Red Sox hoping to survive. For days, we've heard the numbers: 8-1 in playoff elimination games under Terry Francona, biggest postseason rally in nearly 80 years, 3 times coming back from a 3-1 deficit, but none of that really mattered if they couldn't win Saturday night at the Trop. Kevin Youkilis was 0 for 17. There's another stat we've heard in the regular season against Rays Game 6 starter James Shields. Hoping to do a little better in this one. Bottom of the first, B.J. Upton drives a high fastball from Josh Beckett off the C-ring of the catwalk. His 7th of the postseason. Rays 1-0. Sox didn't wait long to answer. Here in the second, Kevin Youkilis breaks out of his slump against Shields in a big way, driving one deep to left into the first row seats. Game tied at 1. Jump to the third, now a man on for Big Papi. He lines one down the right field line into the corner. Dustin Pedroia ends up at third as Ortiz rips his first double of the series. Sox threatening with 1 down. Next batter, it's Youkilis, driving his second run of the game. Not as dramatic this time, but it's going to get the job done. Boston takes a 2-1 lead. Bottom of the 5th we go now. Still same score. Light hitting Jason Bartlett jumps all over a hanging breaking ball from Beckett. Bartlett hit 1 home run in the regular season, picked up a great time to hit his second round tripper of the year. We are all tied up at 2. In the 6th, same score, Jason Veritek up with 2 outs, and the captain drives one deep to right field. That ball gets just out of the yard. Veritek's first hit of the ALCS. He had been 0 for 14 before that home run. Red Sox take a 3-2 lead. 2 batters later, Coco Crisp at first. Pedroia hits a chopper to short. Jason Bartlett's throw offline. Everybody's safe as the runners end up at first and third with 2 outs. Next batter, David Ortiz coming through again. He singles to right center field. Coco Crisp comes home. Red Sox leading it 4-2. Well, to the 9th we go, and Boston hands the ball to Jonathan Papelbon, who has pitched 24 consecutive scoreless postseason innings. And with 2 outs, Papelbon gets Willie Ibar to line out to Kevin Youkilis at third. The Red Sox win Game 6 4-2. They force a Game 7 on Sunday night. So the Red Sox are now just 1 win away from another World Series appearance. Boston topped the Tampa Bay Rays at Tropicana Field and now have all the momentum heading into Game 7. Jason Veritek was 0 for 14 in the ALCS before he hit the go-ahead home run in the 6th inning. Kevin Youkilis also homered, while Jonathan Papelbon gets the save. For much more, let's send it to Heidi Watney in Tampa.
Their way into another Game 7, and it was a complete team effort, getting home runs from Kevin Youkilis and Jason Veritek and 4 shutdown innings from the bullpen.
It was good. It was, the timing of it, for our team, for us, for myself, for everybody. It was, it was good, but it was still early in the game. We had to really keep after it, and David came up with a big hit to get us the extra run.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome. He wears a C on that jersey for a lot of different reasons, but none more important than how much respect everybody in that clubhouse, including players, coaches, upper management, has for him. we're always pulling for the guy, but it was huge for him to do that.
I don't think I could, from our side, think of anything more appropriate. I mean, our whole dugout went crazy. We'll take runs any way we can get it, but by that means and by who hit it, it was not just a big run, it was a huge run. But the way it happened and as hard as he's worked, it meant a lot to everybody.
Absolutely. He's been swinging the bat better. You can just see he's real close to getting on a couple pitches, and to see him hit that home run tonight was huge for him and definitely huge for us.
Well, they strike first, and we're able to strike back fairly quickly right after that, and that's huge. Not allowing them to hold on to the lead too long, and Varitek doing the same thing, and we're able to keep it right around there and continue to score in that area of the game, and kind of just stay there throughout the rest.
John Lester will face Matt Garza in the decisive Game 7. Now Garza got the 9-1 win in Game 3 when these two faced off, but John Lester says he's ready this time. For NESN Sports Desk, I'm Heidi Watney. Catherine?
Well, Heidi, Joe Maddon's decision to switch his Game 5 and Game 6 starters, Scott Kazmir and James Shields, didn't exactly pan out. But the Rays manager doesn't have a choice for Game 7. It'll be a rematch of Game 3, John Lester versus Matt Garza. Now, take a look at their numbers from that game. And Garza was the winner, allowing just 1 run in 6 innings. Lester struggled, giving up 8 hits, including 2 home runs in just 5 2/3 innings. But Lester has been in a clinching situation before. Well, the lefty says this is a whole new ballgame.
I don't think last year has any relevance to this year. Have to go out and execute my game plan. If I don't do that, then obviously, we're not going to have the outcome we want. So if I go out there and execute my pitches and keep a focused head and keep calm and go out there and do what I need to do, then everything should work out just fine. Tomorrow, hopefully I can go out and pitch like I've pitched all year and keep going, and hopefully we can keep going forward.
I'll be sure to keep that channel right here on NESN. Sunday night, we have full coverage of Game 7 from Tropicana Field. Join Tom Caron and the pregame crew live for an hour and a half starting at 6:30 p.m. Then immediately following the final out, you know the drill. Switch it right back over to NESN for postgame reaction and analysis, followed by Sports Desk Lights Out. It's October, and only NESN has you covered. We're coming right back with much more. The Red Sox are familiar in familiar territory. Will it be a familiar ending, though? Then we'll hit the ice where the well-traveled Bruins hit a Canadian capital for an encounter with the Senators. And Mike Reese is in Foxborough as the Patriots get ready to face another aerial assault Monday night when the Broncos come to town. Stick around. There is much more to come here on Sports Desk.
When something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. So don't be fooled by Question 1. Doing away with the state income tax is just too risky. Question 1 would slash the state budget by 40%, forcing drastic cuts to our schools, our health care, and our police and firefighters. And state aid to local communities would be slashed, driving up property taxes. Higher property taxes and drastic cuts in services. That's the truth behind Question 1. Say no to Question 1. It's just too risky.
In today's economic climate, Toyota Tundra just doesn't make sense. The 2008 Chevy Silverado offers the lowest annual fuel costs. It also has the highest predicted resale value of any new full-size V8 pickup. And Eastern Mass and New Hampshire are the '1 selling Silverado markets in the Northeast. You have a right to know the truth. Qualified buyers get 0% APR or $5,000 purchase allowance on any '08 Silverado Crew or Extended Cab.
Check it out, gas prices blowing up sky high. Ditch my used subcompact for a 2-wheeled ride. Now I'm rolling eco-friendly, but I still look bad. When the bike store saw my credit, they said this was all they had. I'm singing F to the R to the E to the E to the C to the R to the E D I T. Re to the port to the dot to the com. Come on everybody, grab your bike and sing along. It's easy. F to the R.
Offer applies with enrollment in Triple Advantage.
Obama rewards his friends with your tax dollars. Tony Resco, $14 million. Allison Davis, $20 million. Kenny Smith, $100,000. That's unethical. Congressional liberals promise to raise your taxes to reward their friends with wasteful pork. Taxes for you, pork for them. Who's going to stop them? Congressional liberals or him?
I'm John McCain, and I approve this message.
Price dangling in the slot. The shot, Krejci scores! High glove shot. Krejci holds. Chara closing, taps it low. Savard scores! Stood on 20 miles away from Price, and Savard scores! Where are the ghosts now? It bounces Boston's way, and it's tied!
Well, it was close, but no cigar on Wednesday night for the Bruins when their furious comeback from a 3-goal deficit fell just short in a shootout. Saturday, their focus shifted to the Senators, who put up 6 goals in Friday night's win over the Coyotes. Marc Savard, the Bruins' leading scorer, getting ready to face off 5 goals and 1 assist heading into Saturday night. First period, Bruins on the attack very early. Phil Kessel with the puck loses control, but it takes a bounce right towards Patrice Bergeron. He slaps it on net, and Marco Sturm tips it in for his first goal of the season. Bruins leading at 1-0. Still in the first period now, Ottawa's Chris Kelly knocks the puck loose from Sturm. Kelly dishes it off to Nick Foligno, who rockets it past Manny Fernandez for Foligno's second goal of the season, and we are knotted up at 1. Second period still tied up. Marc Savard on the breakaway, deep on the right wing. He beats the defense, then pulls up, finds Phil Kessel right in front of the net. A nice dish. One of 2 goals for Kessel on the night. Bruins up 2-1. Third period we go now. Bees leading at 3-2. With a chance to close things out, Savard passes cross ice to Michael Ryder. Ryder doesn't get off a good shot, but Milan Lucic, beautiful rebound, his first goal of the season. The Bruins down the Senators 4-2. So the Bees will head back to Boston with a successful 2-1-1 road trip to start the season. They take 3 out of a possible 4 points from division rivals. Marc Savard now with a team leading 5 goals, 4 assists in 4 games this season. Manny Fernandez, solid in net, 21 saves on the night as he earns his first win in goal. Let's hear what the Bruins netminder had to say after the game.
I think the team now realizes that they need to play a strong game when I'm back there. They want to play good defensively. They want to help me out as much as they can. So I can't say good or bad. I mean, if it's only going to be 12 shots, I got to be focused for those 12 shots. I wouldn't rather have 36 shots in the first 2 frames. So. I'm going to take my 12 shots and try the best I can, and like today, battle hard and try to stay focused for 60 minutes.
Coming into the season, Phil Kessel had faced the Senators 15 times, tallying just 2 goals and an assist. He matched that on Saturday night. Let's head to the booth and check in with the 2 men who called this game, Jack Edwards and Andy Brickley.
Well, the big question was, how well would Michael Ryder fit, and could he be productive? So far, pretty good and pretty good.
Yeah, if you're looking for big goal totals to this point, maybe you'll be disappointed, but how could you be? The kid's been playing great. The things that you like about his game is, A, how hard he plays, number one. He understands what his assets are as a player. He's a gifted skater, a little unorthodox with a straight-up kind of a posture, but he's strong, and he takes the puck to the net given the opportunity to do that, and he understands, playing for Claude Julien, that a lot is expected of him in all 3 zones, and he certainly hasn't shirked his responsibilities when you talk about playing in the Bruins system, but he's giving you offense, and that's one thing the Bruins certainly wanted to improve upon coming into this year.
We've talked about the Bruins' depth this year and how it's so much different from the last couple of years. They had a different kind of depth tonight without P.J. Axelson, who normally tries to shut down Daniel Alfredsson. They showed tremendous work from all 4 lines and really got a good solid 60 minutes.
Well, I love how strong they are down the middle. And I know it's a theme that we've already started on, given the fact that Bergeron's back and you got another year from Krejci as far as, under his belt and a little more experience. And, of course, Savard just continues to impress us with his obvious offensive talents. But when you're strong down the middle like that, you have a chance to have balance in your scoring lines. And I know we're early in the year and you're still trying to sort out what the best combinations are. And that'll go on all year long, because some line mates, even though they get hot, they can get stale too. So your depth is challenged, but you're looking for those combinations, and the Bruins have really found it. Important to see, though, Marco Sturm, Milan Lucic gets their first goals tonight in this win over Ottawa, because they're going to need those 2 players on the left side if this Bruins team is going to challenge for the division title.
Ottawa came into this game feeling pretty good about itself, having slaughtered Phoenix and then letting Phoenix make the score reasonable at the end the night before this one, and the Bruins took the body to them. They dictated the tempo, they dictated the pace, and they come home ready for more.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Time now to go down the pipe with FW Webb, and NESN has you covered Monday night as the Bruins become the last team to open up at home when Sidney Crosby and the defending Eastern Conference champion Pittsburgh Penguins come to town. Puck drops at 7, and our high-definition coverage gets rolling with Bruins Face-Off Live starting at 6:30. Still ahead, more from Tropicana Field as the Red Sox fight off elimination and they force a decisive Game 7. We'll hear more clubhouse reaction after this.
This segment brought to you by FW Webb, home of Frank Webb's Bath Center, a trusted part of your home remodeling team.
Maybe your own price, huh?
Yeah, they want $200 for a 4-star on the Vegas Strip. I'm going $190.
Oh, you wuss.
What?
Go lower.
$160?
Namby-pamby.
$99.
Now you're negotiating.
At Priceline, find half-price hotels every day. Save up to half off Expedia's best price and Hotels.com's best price on over 16,000 hotels. Find half-price hotels every day at Priceline.